Any little thing, any little conflict that comes up, any little imbalance, I'm always there to check, like, okay, what's going on? Because I know that it's something that needs to come back into balance, you know? Realizing that we are indeed spirit having a physical experience, you know? Coming back to the center, coming back to the middle more so is what I mean by balance, rather than walking a tightrope. Like I have to always be in alignment. I have to always have it right. I have to always be good. It has nothing to do with that. You know, it has nothing to do with being good versus being bad. It has nothing to do with proving myself more holy or trying to rid evil out of your life. It has nothing to do with that. These binaries are false. You know what I'm saying? You just are. So it's getting to that, back to that point of being. And in your being, you are spirit having a human experience, you know? But it's just the recognition of that fact, you know what I'm saying, is what brings you back to center, because it makes everything less important. When I say it makes everything less important, I mean it amplifies your faith, you know, amplifies your faith, knowing that you are always safe, you know, and you truly cannot be threatened because you know who you are. You know the eternal part of yourself. We forget all the time and get caught up in the density, but we come back to the recognition, to the realization of our eternal self. You know what I'm saying? I am spirit having a human experience, right? We oftentimes get pulled into the reality of fear, you know, because that's the vibration of this planet. But when we understand who we are, we're raising our vibration and remembering that we are not a part of the density fully. You know what I'm saying? That this density is temporary, right? But our eternal nature is of the light. Our eternal nature is of a higher vibration. So we know energy to be formless, but it is also the thing that creates all form, right? So you as a physical being is energy in a slower form, right? In a more dense form, right? What we are light beings. What we are pure energy, right? But this being is temporary because it's in a denser form, right? We have chosen to be in a lower frequency. But our true nature is higher frequency. Our true nature is pure energy. Why? Because that's what God is, right? And we are part of that oneness, right? So have manifested a denser form of ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So none of it is separate, right? We are, an aspect of us is in this reality, and this is what we are right now, but this is not our true form, you know? This is a temporary form. So therefore, it is a part of the illusion of fear, you know? This is a manifestation of fear, of a lower frequency of what we actually are. And because we are pure energy, like God, right? We're created in the image of God, right? Because we are a sharded aspect, a projection of God, right? We are in the mind of God. We also cannot be created or destroyed, right? We were created from the oneness, you know what I'm saying? So we have no beginning or end, just like God has no beginning or end. You know, we always were and we always will be. You always were and you always will be, right? This low density, this low frequency form of you will shift into a higher frequency form, into different forms, you know, of the self, but you will always be you, you know? So therefore, there is nothing to fear. And this also means when you see life in all its forms, there's nothing to fear, right? So they talk about aliens and this and that. Everybody's always focused on fear and doom and gloom and this and that. But they're part of the oneness too. You know what I'm saying? Life in all its forms is a part of the oneness, right? Existence, we are in the mind of God, you know? A lot of you are not originally from this planet and can't even comprehend that. You know what I'm saying? We're all from the oneness, but you don't know where you truly are from your eternal self. You know what I'm saying? Where you have been, in lifetimes, in different lifetimes. You know what I'm saying? So what we're just trying to do is get back to accepting life and accepting life from an eternal standpoint, which is devoid of fear, you know? Knowing that fully and completely takes you out of fear, you know what I'm saying, and brings you back to love, which is the eternal, right? The eternal love, God, us are one, you know what I'm saying? So the opposite of that is fear, is what the density is made of, you know what I'm saying? And we get caught up in it because we're here, but we have the ability to bring ourselves back and balance ourselves, bring ourselves back to the center, back to the realization, zoom out of the reality and see, oh, okay, this is not truly me. You know what I'm saying? This is the avatar. This is the vehicle which is playing me. You know what I'm saying? Is an aspect of me. I'm here to learn and to be in this version of self that I've manifested. You know, so you're still it's being in the density and knowing who your greater reality. You know, so you have dominion over this density. You have dominion over this physical form. The fear is a part of our free will. We've chosen it. So that's why God is not going to interfere and take it from you, because it's something that we've chosen, you know? So we have to be the ones to choose to let it go. And in order to do that, we have to have complete faith, right? And we have to forgive, right? And where does that complete faith come in? The complete faith is knowing that we are eternal beings, knowing that we are always safe, knowing that we are protected and cared for by God, right? It's putting our trust, putting our full trust, right? Our full faith in God, you know? And fully living in the fact that we do not need to fear. And this means we don't have to be vigilant against anything or anyone, you know? Any situation, we do not have to fear. We do not have to be defensive about it, you know? We do not have to be, we do not have to fight, you know what I'm saying? Being fully defenseless and putting your full faith in God in any situation, no matter how crazy it looks, no matter how scary it looks, is full faith, you know? It is the only trick that will, and it's not a trick, but it's the only thing that will rid you of fear, you know, is to not be afraid. And to not be afraid by putting that trust in God. And as we're doing this, we're simultaneously forgiving and seeing everybody as they truly are. So if you know you're an eternal being, and this, the conflict in the world and all of these things are not a reflection of you, you know what I'm saying? They are not real to you. They are a part of the illusion. You know that's the truth for everybody else, you know? Because that's the truth indeed. The conflict here is illusion, you know? If you think somebody's plotting against you, or you think this and you think that, like, or you think you sit, like, anything, any conflict, you give it to God, you know what I'm saying? And you forgive the people that are involved. You forgive yourself. And in that, that's the biggest defense right there, right? Because you're not making it real for yourself. You're not making the illusion real for yourself. Whatever you choose to make real for yourself, that's going to be your reality right there. I know it sounds crazy because it sounds like, oh, this girl in denial, like life is not really happening. But no, I'm in denial of the illusion, right? You're in complete faith in the truth, and you're in denial of the illusion. You see beyond what your eyes see, right? You could be aware of certain things happening around you, but you know God has it. So you know those things that think they're going to play out a certain way is not going to play out in your life, right? And if they do, you still be protected from that. You know, let God handle it. Let God handle it. You're here and you're supposed to be in a state of ease. You can choose to be, you know. We just don't choose to be. We choose to be in it when we're really not in it, you know. You gotta be in this world but not of it, you know. Be the observer. Put your comfort and satisfaction in God and the things that are eternal and the things that are real and not in the things that are not, right? Everybody puts their value in this illusion, in the things of this illusion, right? In the circumstances of this illusion. So when things start to change, their whole peace of mind changes with it, right? Our whole peace of mind changes with it. I keep changing, you know, there and me and we, it's all of us, you know, we all experience this at different times. The fluctuations are going to happen, but they don't have control over you, right? All of these things are learning experiences. And it's not learning to become proficient in something. It's learning to find different aspects of yourself, to know yourself better, to know yourself more, right? When you get to know other people, you get to know yourself more. When you're in that conflict and learn how to work through that conflict, you get to know yourself more, right? When you get to a point where you say, oh, this conflict is not mine to deal with, and you see it dissipate like a miracle, because it is a miracle, right? Because you've denied the illusion, then you get to know yourself more, and you put more ease in living. You know what I'm saying? You have more ease in living. You're comfortable. You're resting in peace, right? Resting in peace is for the living, man. You don't wait till you die to rest in peace, right? Your rest is now. You rest in peace because you give it all to God. You know what I'm saying? And people be like, oh, she's delusion, this delusion, this. It don't matter. It don't matter what people think because we're all learning. We're all at our different stages of learning. But ultimately, we're all going to learn that we don't have to worry. You know what I'm saying? And when we get ourselves in conflict and we get ourselves worked up and we get ourselves stuck in fear, we know how to get rid of that. We know how to work through it. You know what I'm saying? We know how to tell ourselves what's real and what's unreal.